Good evening. Independent businesses are taking legal action against a global insurance company related to the COVID pandemic. They include Serena Russell, who runs a tattoo parlour in Walsall, took out business interruption insurance with Beazley Group to protect her business, should it be forced to close at short notice. But she's been told her policy doesn't cover a pandemic. She's one of 69 businesses seeking redress through breach of contract. Amy Cole reports.
Getting inked. This tattoo studio in Walsall is busy, but Serena Russell admits she's had to work to keep her business going. In March 2020, you'll remember this happened.
From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home. Because the critical thing we must do to stop the disease spreading between households.
The national lockdown saw many high street businesses suddenly forced to close. But at the time, Serena says she was relatively calm about it because she had business interruption insurance.
As scary as that was, I didn't panic. I thought that my business was covered.
She contacted her insurance company, Beazley Group, which has offices all over the world, including one in Birmingham, but they refused her claim on the grounds that business interruption policies were not designed to cover a national lockdown.
My questions were, well, why am I not covered? When you take out business interruption insurance, it doesn't state you're not covered for a pandemic, so you think you're fully covered for everything in the eventuality of your business closing, which is what it says. The point is, if you are closed, if your business is closed, you are covered. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point in having it?
And others are asking the same question. Lucy Foster runs a beauty clinic in Tamworth. She used to have a training school in Birmingham's jewellery quarter, but had to close it following the pandemic. She also paid a premium for business interruption insurance with Beazley and says the lack of a payout has stalled the growth of her business.
Equipment and devices that I've always, been able to buy, year on year, I literally had to really rethink the whole business model and change where I was at.
Has it made you upset?
Absolutely, yeah. It's quite hard when you've put literally blood, sweat and tears for years and years. I'm 30 years in the industry, and to sort of feel that you've had to go back a number of years, it was quite tough, absolutely.
Lucy and Serena are among 69 small businesses across the UK who have launched group legal action against Beazley. They're being represented by Birmingham-based solicitor Chris Guy.
The wording is wide enough in our legal opinion to cover a pandemic. It is a closure by a government as a result of an incident which caused the denial of access to the property. COVID was an emergency at the time, which the government decided they needed to take extreme measures and close these businesses. And the wording in this policy is wide enough, in our opinion, to cover for that.
Meanwhile, Beazley Group has told the BBC that we do not comment on ongoing litigation. The claimants are now waiting for their case to be heard in the High Court. Amy Cole, BBC Midlands Today.
Well, joining me now is Jonathan Lawrence from RLK Solicitors in Birmingham, who are representing the claim. Good evening. Good to have you with us. How widespread do you think that this kind of incident is?
I think very widespread in terms of numbers for the types of cases that aren't entirely clear. The FCA have stopped publishing figures now, certainly in the hundreds of thousands, we'd say. I've seen some figures in up to 500,000 in terms of cases out there. We've got lots of experience of people having a similar refusal, so it is quite widespread, yes.
And it's not just the one insurance group that we've covered, Beazley, is it? We've also heard from a farmer, Tim Ashton, who had a claim refused by NFU MUTUAL. So let's just hear what he had to say.
We had an indemnity up to a certain level to protect us because something unfortunate had happened, which would allow us to pick a path through a very challenging time, and that money hasn't been forthcoming from NFU MUTUAL now for over half a decade.
Well, NFU MUTUAL have said that it wouldn't be appropriate to comment, but it is defending this group action. Now, if people think they have a claim, what should they do?
I would suggest they dust off their insurance policy and get some expert legal advice. It would be fair to say that the legal landscape has changed, continues to change, and we've seen examples where people might have been told no, and that situation's changed, and some people have even been told no, but incorrectly so. So I think even if people have presented a claim and it's been refused, I would recommend they seek that second opinion now.
Is there a deadline for this sort of claim?
There is, yes. There's a statutory limitation period, which is essentially means by the claim's got to be brought by a particular time, otherwise it'll be time barred and can't proceed. In case of this type, it's 6 years. Now that starts from when the cause of action begins, which in most cases was the first national lockdown, which was March 2020. So we're working towards a date of March 2026, which is rapidly approaching.
Of course, the other side of this, it could cost insurance companies millions.
Absolutely, it could. I mean, one of the contentious issues is how they're treating government support. So the furlough payments are being deducted from payments, so they're getting a bit of a saving in that regard. But it should be, but people are paying the insurance premiums, as we've seen from the video, for years and years. And on the occasions when they needed to fall back and rely upon that insurance, they've been let down. So it's policies that should be engaging.
OK, Jonathan Lawrence, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.